Hello and welcome back to Bump Love. So we have all heard before that children learn through play. It enhances their ability to solve problems, to think critically, and to relate with one another. So this week, we want to discuss how all this comes together and how you at home can embrace learning through play. To join this discussion, we have with us Hajat Safina Mulumba. She is an early childhood development specialist. She's also a principal education officer, is it? For pre-education with the Ministry of Health, of Education and Sports. Welcome to the show, Hajat Safina.
Thank you.
And would like to delve deeper into this topic. What would you tell us is learning through play?
Yeah, learning through play in education, this is when children make sense of the world around them in whatever they do. Because as children grow, they grow with it. We can't differentiate play out of the children, and it's the only way they learn naturally and with joy. Yeah.
So how important is it for play to be incorporated in a child's learning environment?
Play is very wide and very important in children's learning because those two are inseparable. Without play, I don't think that children can flexibly learn. Because, for example, these days we are complaining of people not being emotionally intelligent. But through play, it's a very big approach that we can help children become emotionally intelligent. Because through play, they fight, they cry, they laugh. At the end of the day, even when an adult has not come in, they learn to solve their own problems. They learn to think critically through play. They learn to respect each other through play, because in most cases, if they grow in a conducive environment where parents are loving, where they have loving adults, they will imitate whatever the adults do. Therefore, if you can solve your own problems so well, these children through their play, they will imitate the same. They will be able to solve their problems. They learn to take turn. For example, they can group themselves in an imitation play. They will tell Manuela, you'll take part in this. After I have spoken, she will speak. So they learn to take turn. They learn to pray. If they are in a prayerful environment, through play, they will imitate whatever you do as you pray. For example, the children in a Muslim home, you will see them imitating whatever we do as they play. So they will eventually adopt it and become part of them. Even the kinds of work we do, children will learn a lot. They become critical thinkers because as they play, they will begin reflecting on what they see in their environment. Then eventually they will practice it. It adds a lot of value. Communication skills, language skills through play, mathematical reasoning. As they pour water, play with sand, eventually they learn to think mathematically. Even scientific reasoning. We forget that through play, there is a lot of science in it. By the time they come to school to begin learning, they would have adopted all those skills. There is a lot, I can't even say it all, that play, because play and learning are inseparable. You can't separate play from learning because it even helps children to mature. As they play, they mature naturally with joy as they love whatever they are doing. So you can't separate play from learning. Yeah.
And yet, many parents are in a place where they really want to separate the two. They don't see that the learning and the play are happening at exactly the same time. So I don't know if you can explain to our viewers how it actually works, because parents feel like playing is unserious, learning is serious. So there are two different activities.
No,
so,
that can't work.
Yes.
When you look at Piaget himself, He says whatever we do in this world is promoted through play. You look at Montessori, he also emphasizes the same. So to me, to parents, I feel that even we ourselves as adults, we should be part of children's play. We should sing with them, we should play with them. If it's dodgeball, netball, it does no harm. Even a parent getting involved into it, providing play materials for them, even reading these picture books. Those children can adopt, even learn opening the book through play. So it's very wide. Parents and teachers have to put emphasis in this, because even the English say, work without play makes Jack Jill a dull boy, dull girl. So play is very important, and it's the reason that even government, the learning framework itself, right from page 1, advocates for play-based learning.
Yeah, I know you've talked a bit about it, but if you can delve more into what parents and teachers can do to maximize that.
First of all, the parents and teachers have to appreciate. They have to appreciate it. Once they begin with an appreciation, they will get to know the importance of play in children's learning. There is no way child can learn without playing. Because the moment you separate play from learning, that means the children will become dull. For example, the parents, we go into this soil to model. Parents refuse children, don't dirten yourself. Yet it's part.
That's an architect right there.
Yeah, it helps to develop these finer muscles through that play. There is a lot. So parents have to appreciate, the teachers have to appreciate in whatever daily routine plans they make. Each and every part should begin with play. Through play, a lot can be covered. As I have explained, mathematics is the reason why our children hate mathematics. It's the methods the teachers use. They don't engage them into that practical bit of it. For example, if a child counted 1 yellow duck swimming in the water, 1 yellow duck
Swimming in the water, 1 yellow duck. Swimming in the water, swim, swim, swim. Swimming in the water.
2. So
2 yellow
eventually,
ducks.
at the end of the day, the child learns to count with joy right from 1 up to 10.
Yes.
All those songs, if you're happy and you know, clap your hands. They are learning vocabulary while playing, while singing with joy. At the end of the day, by the time we end the day, I'm happy to say this because I was a P1 teacher for almost 8 years, and my children, I have produced a number of them, but they all learned through play. Yeah, because I even don't remember beating, because these children were learning with joy. They loved what they were doing. So it's something very perfect in promoting children's learning. So I don't think you can separate the two. The moment you stick to learning, you would have lost it all without play.
One of the sayings that I found very profound in this work of early childhood has been that play is the work of children.
Of course.
So the same way I wake up and go and work, you should be waking up your child to go and play. Tell them, hey, it's time to work. That play is their work. The things that you learn from work are the same things that they learn. So now that we know this and the importance of this, why isn't play integrated into our programs in our children's schools? And what is the government doing to close this gap?
First of all, to me, I feel that teachers, especially at school level, fail to integrate play into children's lives because they lack that competence. It's what we have observed. And in most of these institutions, being that early childhood development or pre-primary education is private sector-led, these proprietors enroll teachers who lack the competence. at the end of the day, we lose it at that part. Much as the government frameworks and policies advocate for play-based learning. Because to begin with, we have a learning framework. And that learning framework, I used it myself during my action research. And it promotes play-based learning right from the first page to the last page. And after realizing that the teachers are failing to interpret the content in the learning framework, through National Curriculum Development Center, we went ahead to develop the Caregivers Guide so that we can unpack the concepts in the learning framework. The teachers' training framework itself, all the components there advocate for play-based learning, right from the training. Even at primary level, the PTCs also advocate for that. But where the gap is enrolling incompetent teachers. What the government has done, we have started on the review of the learning framework so that we can simplify it for the teachers. And currently, we are also advocating for government to begin training the teachers ourselves. Whether they are taken up by the private sector, at least the training should begin with us. And in the national teacher policy, we feel that if other countries take on, they respect this first level and take on the most competent teachers for that level. It's the reason that the national teacher policy states that all pre-primary teachers should be graduates, so that we make sure that we produce very competent teachers to handle this level of children. So, and in addition to that, in appreciation of play-based learning, government has taken on working with partners that have come in to support play-based learning or learning through play. For example, we have the IRC consortium where we have Play Matters. We are working closely with them. We are developing materials to make sure that it begins with the parents so that children are helped and to grow as they play, to make it their work of the day, as Manuela has outlined. So there is a lot we are doing. We have Plan International. They have also introduced Playful Futures. And next week we are moving out with the minister to first of all observe the ECD centers. How are they doing it? If they are not, we shall come up and package a number of solutions to ensure that we put emphasis on play-based learning or learning through play.
You should visit the Cradle as part of those ECDs.
I have a question for her. So I like what's happening with the government and the schools, but back to home. I feel like while we were younger, we used to actually actively play, like in the soil, do a lot of action. But now that technology has come, technology is a good thing. But I feel like most of the children right now, instead of the active play, you know, running and doing all these things, interacting, people, a play for an 8-year-old boy would be getting your tab and playing those games. What do you think of that?
Thank you very much. We have developed an early childhood care and education policy, and through it we are introducing parenting education sessions so that we can help these parents understand, first of all, their role and what they have to do in the care aspect. And that's where we shall either mitigate the use of the tablets, the way Manuela's daughter had come for it to begin playing with it, and they instead engage themselves into the development of these contextualized learning materials or play materials, because our environment is rich and it has a lot that we can provide for the children to ensure that they engage themselves, they explore the environment around them, and that's the only way they will become scientists. The tablets alone will not help them become scientists. They have to explore the environment around them, and we feel that it's through those trainings that we shall empower the parents do it well rather than leaving the tablets to the children. However, when you look at some of the contexts, the places we live, you can't expect a child living on an apartment to explore the environment, though we shall encourage the schools to provide that for them, because at least with the school, they have that environment around them.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Hajat Safina, for your insights on play-based learning. And from you, we have learned that parents and teachers, we need to be able to appreciate learning through play. You cannot separate learning and playing, because playing is actually the first natural foundation for your children to thrive intellectually. Please let us know what you as a parent are doing for your little Jack and your little Jill to ensure they do not end up as dull children. When we come back, we want to get practical, hit this thing on the ground. We will speak to a parent who has embraced learning through play. Until next time, with love from Bump Love.